With Roman Reigns unhappy following Survivor Series and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Taking to Instagram to post side-by-side photos of his body transformation, Braun Strowman wrote, "Remember, life's a journey. There will be many bumps in the road, but if you can remember to stay true to yourself and keep your chin up when life gets tough, you can do anything you want. Believing in yourself when others don't is the hardest part. This journey has been far from easy for me. It's a constant test mentally and physically. I've been told so many times in my life that I was gonna fail. I've slipped many times, but I've refused to quit. I refused to believe the people that told I wouldn't make it. I use their negativity to fuel the monster that's inside of me to succeed. Only you can stop yourself. When life gets tough, remember you are indestructible and you can make it what you want it to be. Believe in yourself and watch others follow suit." Talking about his recent signing with Impact Wrestling, Vidal told the LGBT in the Ring podcast, "I can't even put into words how happy I am, how grateful I am for what the last few weeks has brought me. I am very happy and proud to announce that I've signed a multi-year contract with Impact Wrestling. I found that out this morning actually, that I am the first openly gay wrestler to sign a contract with Impact, and it took me a few minutes for it to actually sink in. It's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, wait, no, hold on, that's groundbreaking. It's knocking down barriers. It's everything that I've always wanted to do for my community and professional wrestling. Talk about this a lot, but growing up, I had nobody to look up to when it came to representation. So I would always find certain talent that I felt I could just connect to on a different level, such as Shawn Michaels or Jeff Hardy or Eddie Guerrero, because I am Latino, or even female wrestlers. To know that maybe one day down the line somebody will see me on TV and will be inspired by me being openly gay, it will inspire them to chase whatever goals and dreams they have as an open person in the LGBTQ community." On Talk Is Jericho, Dustin Rhodes talked about taking on the character of Goldust in WWE and noted how he had fallen out with his father, Dusty Rhodes, at the time. I had that in the back of my head like, is he ribbing me for this? But at that point, I had been trying to follow in my dad's footsteps for so long and it was like, it's not working, man. I have to do something else. We had a falling out, which was the worst thing. The worst decision of my life ever. You've got one dad, one mom, so it's good to work things out, right? But we were in that downtime where we weren't speaking to each other and Vince McMahon had just called me and he presented that and I just said yes. When asked about his daughter potentially getting involved in the pro wrestling business in the future, The Undertaker said during the One Dead Man show, "Yeah, so I have that concern. So my 9-year-old daughter, she's the one. So if it's gonna happen, it'll most likely be her. She knows the current roster far better than I do. There are times when we watch, and so I'm like, who's that? So she will run down their whole character, their storyline, who they beat, and who they've lost to. She's really amazing. So I've got to keep an eye on her. But if that's her choice, I'm going to support her. I will support her as long as there is no Paul Orndorff." Speaking on Brandy Rhodes' podcast, Lacey Evans touched on waiting for a phone call to return to WWE. "Yeah, I hope so," Evans responded when Brandy said she hopes to see her soon. "I mean, some stuff may be in the works. I just gotta keep working hard, and when they're ready for me, I have to be ready, so you know how it is. I'm just waiting on that phone call. Good or bad, good or bad. It's a phone call, man. You just gotta be ready." Touching on his decision to take a break from his podcast, Colt Cabana would clarify that this has nothing to do with CM Punk's comments at the AEW All Out Media Scrum. "I didn't delay it because the company that I work for told me not to talk about anything, what I could or could not do. I like to put out shows occasionally spotlighting my friends or people that I find super interesting, and from the beginning, I was so open, maybe even to a fault, about dealing with losing my dream job of WWE, or fighting to be an independent wrestler, or how to make money in wrestling, or how to survive a lot of things." With WCW legend Konnan in search of a kidney donor, many fans have offered their own, as the man himself responded to this on Keeping It 100, saying, "I don't really like to talk about myself or make myself the victim or poor guy or, that's not me. But something really nice happened, man. I had a lot of candidates say, hey, I will donate a kidney to you. I'm very touched. I haven't gotten back to anybody yet, but I will. And somebody's gonna save my life, bro. And that's a beautiful thing. So it restores my faith in humanity, which I have very little left in it. I want to thank all the people that offer this. It's a beautiful thing. And so one of the things that I was having a problem with, and I don't know if I told you about, I haven't slept like in 5 or 6 months, literally. I've slept an hour a day, 2 hours a day. I stay up 50 hours straight. And I found that the reason is because I was so stressed out that I couldn't find a kidney. In the last few days, I've slept 3 hours. 3 hours to me is gold. Touching on a mistake she made following her initial promo in AEW, Saraya said this on the company's Unrestricted podcast. I hadn't been around the wrestling community like online in a while, and I made the rookie move to check it that week. That was my biggest regret, is checking it, because it made me feel awful, and I didn't think it was that terrible. I was just getting in the swing of things. I was nervous. I let the nerves get the better of me, and that's on me. With him not having wrestled for AEW since the All Out event, Andrade would post an update on his status, writing, "My first surgery. I can't believe it happened. A few months ago, I tore my pectoral muscle. Thank God. I could and wanted to finish my match. I kept working because I love the business, but we know that many people do not value your effort. These days off, I took the opportunity to go to doctor." After his team got the win in the War Games match over the weekend, the Tribal Chief was not too happy, as Fightful explained. Roman Reigns was visibly upset after the Survivor Series main event, specifically about a spot within the match. It was rumored among those that we spoke with that Reigns took exception to what he perceived as an unplanned spot between he and Kevin Owens. As he walked backstage, he mentioned possibly having a ruptured eardrum and wanted the spot to go as originally planned. The exclamation was said to have been expletive-filled, and it was clear to everyone that Reigns wasn't happy. It was also reported that those that we spoke with didn't believe there would be any extended heat in regards to the situation, and that it seemed like more of a heat of the moment reaction, but that's only their perception of things. We haven't heard of a physical altercation or an argument, and talent that we heard back from said that they expected the two to be able to coexist for work purposes. Another source reported put over both Reigns and Owens as passionate about what they do and figured if there were issues, they'd end up talking about it directly. Reigns did not appear at the post-show press conference as planned. Speaking of Kevin Owens, he was dealing with an MCL sprain heading into that War Games match, as the Wrestling Observer provided an update. Owens' knee held up, but I wasn't sure by the end of the match. Owens' knee held up, but he still hurt too. He got through the match, and he worked the house show on Sunday, and he worked the Raw last night. He's okay to work, which is really good, because 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of concern that he could be out for a while. Luckily, he dodged that bullet. Taking to Twitter, AEW star Danhausen would reveal that he was the victim of a hit and run, with him writing, "Today Danhausen's car was hit and runned apparently. Airport had no parking. Second flight was delayed by 3 hours. So I had to buy an entirely new flight and get checked bag transferred over to new airline that will hopefully make it." Recalling the 2017 Survivor Series match where Braun Strowman and Triple H faced off despite being on the same team, Kurt Angle revealed how these two would have done in a long-term feud with one another. "I just don't agree with what they did with Braun there. I understand giving me the pedigree to screw me over, and screw me over with the win against Shane McMahon. That made sense, but the thing with Braun Strowman, leaving him hanging there high and dry, just made him look like an idiot. I say yes, a program between Braun and Strowman and Triple H, between Braun Strowman and Triple H definitely should have happened. Not that Triple H turned on Braun, but I think he disrespected Braun to a certain degree, because he took me out in front of Braun. So that's a sign of disrespect. I think that if they would have had a program together, it would have been great, and I think that Triple H and Braun Strowman would have had some 5-star matches." Following last night's Raw, the hashtag Fire Ronda Rousey was trending. This was due to her recent performance at Survivor Series during her match against Shotzi Blackheart, where a major botch occurred when Shotzi was trying to hit a DDT on Ronda. Speaking of Raw, Becky Lynch would be called out by former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas for sucking up to fans on the show. Here's the clip.
I'm all for Becky Lynch, the man, being the babyface that she is right now, but did she really need to really play up to the audience the way she did and put them over huge, and how much she loves them and how much she does everything for them, and even go out into the crowd with Bob and Zachary and all the kids and all that stuff? Look, it was a cool moment for them, I'm sure, but at the same time, I like the, edgy Becky Lynch, the one that the crowd likes, but at the same time, she doesn't have to play up to them. She doesn't have to suck up to them. To me, it felt like she was sucking up to the crowd to win their approval. She's got their approval. She didn't need to go to those lengths last night.
And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.